The one thing that has been a certain this entire 2020 draft season is the number one pick. The Bengals have the chance to fill a big need at the quarterback position with their incredible talent. A national champion, Heisman Trophy winner, and record breaker, Joe Burrow earned his fair share of accolades at the college football level. Burrow has been the consensus number one pick for months now. Although, before his senior season, he was barely looked at as a first-round pick. Per usual, I'll overview Burrow's career, his strengths, his weaknesses, and then tie it all together for his final draft grade. Before we get into the video today, I'd like to give a shout-out to Big Honey Sports. They have a great NFL podcast that is both comical and informative. Their channel link can be found in the description. I highly recommend them to any NFL fan as I personally listen to them weekly. Now back into the video. Burrow began his career at Athens High School in the Plains, Ohio. At Athens, Burrow and his team gave the school their first 7 playoff victories. By the end of his senior year, he had thrown for 11,416 yards and 157 touchdowns. He also added 2,067 rushing yards and 27 rushing touchdowns. In his senior year, he was awarded the Gatorade Player of the Year. He was listed as a 4-star recruit and also was awarded All-State honors as a point guard in basketball. Last December, the motion to rename Athens High School's football stadium to honor Burrow was approved. Burrow redshirted during his first year at Ohio State. He then spent 2016 and 2017 sitting behind quarterback J.T. Barrett. During his first 3 years, he recorded 287 yards and 2 touchdowns. Once he realized that Dwayne Haskins was set to start for the 2018 season, Burrow transferred to LSU. Burrow quickly became the starter at LSU over the season. Burrow led the team to a 10-4 record and a Fiesta Bowl win over Iowa. He had 2,894 passing yards and 16 touchdowns. On the ground, Burrow recorded 399 yards and 7 rushing touchdowns. In his final season, Burrow exceeded every expectation. In only week 2, Burrow threw for 471 yards and 4 touchdowns against number 9 ranked Texas. He then went on to throw 6 touchdowns later that month against Vanderbilt. In week 7, Burrow went on to break LSU's single-season touchdown record of 28 touchdowns. More records and yards came to Burrow as the season went on. Then came LSU-Alabama, the biggest game of Burrow's career so far. LSU came out victorious, and Burrow finished the game with 393 yards and 3 touchdowns. The next week, Burrow broke LSU's single-season passing yard record against Ole Miss. After yet another strong performance over Georgia in the SEC championship game, Burrow went on to win the Heisman Trophy. Along with the Heisman, Joe won a myriad of other player and quarterback awards. LSU went on to enter the college football playoffs with a semi-final game against number 4 ranked Oklahoma. No one could predict the superiority Burrow and LSU would have over Oklahoma as Burrow scored 7 passing touchdowns in the first half alone. LSU came out with the victory and Burrow with 515 total yards. Burrow and co met Clemson in the national championship. Not even they could slow him down as he scored 6 total touchdowns and over 500 total yards. LSU won the national championship 42-25, and Burrow was named Defensive MVP. At the end of Burrow's immaculate season, he totaled 5,671 passing yards and 60 passing touchdowns. No matter where Burrow is drafted, he will go down in history as one of the best college quarterbacks of all time. Burrow's history alone makes him a frontrunner in 2020's quarterback class, but his skills are what really make him stand out. Mentally, Burrow is the most NFL quarterback of the pool. He is able to move from read to read effectively, and is not afraid to make tight throws and take calculated risks with the ball. Physically, Burrow has the legs to escape the pocket when needed, and the ability to make those throws while he's on the run as well. Burrow's accuracy paired with his great reading ability is what makes him so effective. He could see the field unlike any other player in college football last season. Burrow's accuracy itself is nothing to scoff at. He can make all types of throws all over the field. Burrow's weakness is a little to none. One small knock against him is that he underthrows a deep pass from time to time. His arm strength isn't elite, but can still make most deep throws. If the Bengals don't draft Burrow at number 1 overall, I believe the entire organization should be fired. He is our obvious number 1 pick, and there has been little to no dispute over this fact throughout the draft community. If Burrow continues at this trajectory, I believe he can be as successful as Tom Brady. At the other end of the spectrum, Burrow can also see a career much like the Rams' Jared Goff. Good team fits for Burrow include the Bengals, the Chargers, and even the Colts. That rounds up the end of this NFL Draft Player Profile. Subscribe for more content and let me know what kinds of videos you'd like to see in the future. Again, thank you to anyone who made it this far. Please share and like the video if you enjoyed.